So thank you everyone for jumping on to tonight's virtual demonstration. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Emma. I am a consultant and team leader based down in the Bass Coast area, but I do have lots of our team spread down here. Also up in the Yarra Valley, we also have one of our girls over in Geelong, Cranbourne area and Druin as well. So we are quite a widespread team, as are my customers. I have customers on Phillip Island. I have customers over here. Anywhere within Australia, we can support you. So if you have come to find out more about the Thermomix, you are in the right place. If you have come to find out more about your TM6 and how that can help you, you will still learn things about your Thermomix, whether you have a TM7 or not. So before we get started, I would love to just tell you a little bit more about me. As I said, I live down in the Bass Coast area. I have two children. They are in primary school, which has freed up a little bit more of my time now that they are both at school. I work at the hospital part-time. I'm there 2 days a week. I run my Thermomix business, but I also run the school canteen down here for our little school. So I do love cooking. I do love being in the kitchen. I decided to get a Thermomix before I moved out of my home with my parents. They purchased me my first TM31. And then from there, I have just loved being able to upgrade and come on board and earn it. So I came on to earn my TM5. And then as a consultant, we have the first dibs at earning the next model. So earned my TM6 and then obviously earned my TM7 just recently. So that's a little bit about me. I know that we have some of our consultants on board tonight, so thank you for jumping on. And we also have some of our new consultants who have jumped on to use this as a learning experience before they get their TM7s, but also before they are in the hotspot doing this like we are. So thank you to those of you that have jumped on. Those of you that are on tonight, I'd love to know what it is that has brought you along. So whether you want to jump off mute or just pop it in the chat box, what has brought you along to tonight's demonstration? Let me know. Please say something because I don't want to be talking to a wall all night. Eliza, I might use you as one of my guests if I can.
Yep.
We'll do a little bit of chatting just so that it makes it a little less boring for everyone. So Eliza, let's pretend that you are not a consultant, you know nothing about Thermomix. What has brought you along tonight?
Just to see what it is, what it can do. All you mainly hear is that they're an expensive blender, so
Yep.
see what else they can do.
Yeah. So you've heard that before. Do you know anyone that has a Thermomix?
I have a couple of friends that have them, but they are older models.
Okay. And what do they say? That it's an expensive blender
No,
or?
they don't, but it's more the people that don't have them that say they're an expensive blender.
Yeah.
They love them. They save them lots of time.
Okay, yeah, sure. And we'll get a bit more into what's important to you, but it sounds like time might be something that's important to you by you throwing that little comment in there.
Yep.
Yeah, awesome. Thanks so much for sharing, Eliza. Is anyone else willing to come off mute or to pop in the chat? I don't have my chat up. And have a chat. Judy, you're off mute. Can I pick on you?
Yeah, you can pick on me. It's the first time I've forgotten to mute the microphone.
Don't
I
be.
just wanted to have a look at the TM7. I mean, I'm just getting used to my TM6, but yeah, I thought let's see what all the excitement's about.
Curious. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
Best place to come and see it other than being in person is pop your jammies on and have a drink and watch us do the work.
yeah. See, I've got the camera off. It's just the microphone.
That's all right. That's okay. As long as we have some kind of interaction, I'm happy. So
Yeah,
thank you
that's
so
fine.
much for sharing. I have spoken a little bit about me and my business. I've been a consultant for, I think it's nearly 8 years and team leader for 3. So as I mentioned, our team is quite widespread. And just recently we have welcomed 8 new people into our team. So we have the TM for you, the earn offer at the moment, which is absolutely incredible. We've had lots of people taking that offer up. And if it is something that you're interested in finding out more about, then please have a chat to your consultant or to myself at the end. If you don't have access to My Mix Rewards, this is where we would usually scan a QR code. We don't need to worry about that tonight, but if you are not signed up to My Mix Rewards, please jump onto the website and have a look. You'll get a $15 Mix Shop voucher just for joining, and then you get birthday rewards, you get shipping discounts, all of those kind of things, and first dibs when we have sales and those kind of things. So are you ready to see what the Thermomix can do? I'm just going to play this little video. It might be a little bit hard to see, but hopefully you'll be able to hear it okay.
For over 140 years, we at Forwerk have been relentlessly driven to enhance everyday life in homes around the world, evolving from our first Thermomix to our latest innovation. We bring joy and pride to the table with unique culinary experiences. Alongside premium products, we build lasting relationships. We make house cleaning effortless with high-performing, versatile solutions, growing global companies across more than 60 countries. This success comes from our dedication to you, our customer. You'll see it in the eyes of our more than 100,000 determined people. Our passion for delicious food, spotless homes, next-level technology, high standards, and sustainability is what drives us. For over 140 years, we've been reinventing ourselves. And now we're taking another leap forward with our most advanced Thermomix ever. At Forwerk, we empower people to ignite their passion every day.
Was there anything in that video that you noticed that you maybe didn't already know, or that surprised you, something that stood out? Eliza, I'm going to pick on you again, and Judy, you're both going to be picked on tonight. But Eliza, let's pretend that you haven't seen that already and that you don't do your own demos. What has stood out in that video for you?
How long the company have been around for?
Yeah, it's been a little while. It's very reputable company. Yeah.
Yes.
And how widespread, I'd say.
Yeah.
That was huge.
Globally. Yeah,
Yeah.
it is massive. Yeah. Did anyone pick up on the vacuum cleaners?
Yep.
Yeah. So a lot of people don't realize that we actually have not only the Thermomix and our Mix Shop products, but we also sell the Kobold range as well. So I personally don't have one, which I'm very disappointed about, but have only heard amazing things about those. Awesome. So we're going to have a little bit of chat about what is important to you when it comes to cooking. So those that are not off mute, would love if you could pop yours in the chat box. But Eliza, when it comes to cooking, you mentioned before the word time. That has piqued my interest. I'm interested to find a bit more. What would you say is most important to you? So we usually work with 4 pillars. We have time, health, energy, or excellence, like creative meals, or money. If you had to choose just one, I know that they all tie in and they're really hard, but if you had to choose just one, which would stand out most to you?
Health.
Health? Awesome. So what is it about health that is important to you?
Just knowing what's in our food.
Yeah. And what does that look like at the moment?
This is hard.
You don't have the Thermomix.
Yeah, I don't cook enough from scratch, I guess.
You'd like to cook a bit more and
Yeah.
know exactly what's in it?
Yeah.
So are you tending to buy jars and packet stuff? Is that what you're wanting to lean away from?
Yes. Yeah.
And what would that mean to you and your family?
Just better for our overall health. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Is there something in particular that you're trying to achieve by eliminating specific things, or are you just a bit more conscious now of what is actually in all of those products?
Yeah, just a bit more conscious.
Yeah. What kind of meals are you having at the moment?
This is so hard when I actually
You're doing well.
Thermomix every day.
Doing well. She's doing well.
You are doing very well.
I guess lots of pastas and rices and that type of thing, but not as much fresh food.
Okay, yes, right. And so we want to still be able to have those things, but having maybe instead of the packet sauces that you're putting with your pasta, being able to make that from scratch.
Yes. Yeah.
Perfect. Awesome. Okay. And who's at home?
Me, husband, and 3 kids.
Great. Are they good eaters, fussy eaters, kids?
Depends on the day.
Yeah. And do you do most of the cooking, or does hubby chip in as well?
No. Well, hubby does barbecues in the summer, but for the rest of the time, pretty much it's me. Yeah.
Mostly you. Awesome. Great. Thanks so much for sharing, Eliza. Judy, if we had to say time, health, energy, or money, which would you choose? Which stands out?
Health.
Yeah. And what does that look like for you? It looks very different for everyone. So what does that look like for you?
Yeah, what's been interesting is making, rather than buying all those spice mixes and, chicken tonight and whatever, because we've got into really quick bad habits, making those things yourself has been, a bit of an eye-opener of A, the flavour, and B, not the junk in it. That's
and
what.
so you're using your TM6 to be able to create those kind of replicate those dishes, but using natural ingredients rather than packets.
Yeah, I'm not necessarily replicating them, but now I'm aware of it. Do you know this really takes you back to how our parents used to cook?
Yes, absolutely.
Fresh, natural, make everything yourself. Nothing was bought in
Mm.
bottles and packets off the shelf.
Yeah.
Much
And then
healthier.
my parents' generation was everything was in a packet, everything was in a jar.
Yeah.
And then now me and, most of our family and friends are back to scratch and cooking everything from,
Yeah. Yeah. It's interesting.
yeah, it's
Going
just
in a full circle.
full circle. Yeah. So when you said health and eliminating and just knowing what's in your food, what kind of meals are you having at the moment with that?
Not a lot of pasta because I've started a little diet group,
Okay.
so which I'm leading. So yeah, the pressure is on to do healthy food.
Yeah.
Low
Yeah.
carb, low carb.
I'm loving what you're sharing in the personal customer group that I have. So for those of you that don't know, part of my customer service is a private customer group that my customers jump in and share what they're making. But at the moment, we're running a challenge. So we've got the Master the Basics challenge. We're running that over 2 months, and we've done the first 15 days, and we're focusing on a different function or a different recipe or something each day. And the customers that are in there are sharing all of the things and inspiring each other, which I'm really loving. And Judy has been making lots of different things and sharing with us, and I'm loving seeing that.
Yeah, it's good fun. I'm about to make something that Trudy shared. That's tomorrow night.
Yeah. And that's the beauty of it too, because I don't cook the same as everyone else, and no one wants to just see what I cook. So being able to share what other people are cooking and getting ideas from each other is absolutely incredible. So I love that part of our community.
It's good.
Awesome. Thanks so much for sharing, Judy. So Eliza, health, Judy also health, but different, same, but different. For me, health is also important, but it would be more so the allergy aspects in our house. We have celiac daughter, and then we also have my son who is dairy and egg intolerant. So being able to, again, create things from scratch, but making those substitutes, because it does get quite expensive having to buy those variations. So knowing what's in our food and being able to cater to those allergies is really important here. Awesome. So a little bit about the Thermomix now. We've heard about me, we've heard about you, and a little bit now, all eyes over here. So what you see is what you get. The Thermomix is an all-inclusive package. So you can see I've got my butterfly whisk, my spatula, and the rest of the Thermomix here. This is 2649. It is an all-inclusive package. We have a few different payment options. As I mentioned at the start, we have our Thermomix Earn For You program at the moment, which is just making 4 sales in 90 days, and you will receive that Thermomix for free. Any outstanding balance can be paid with our payment options, but we work really hard with you to make sure that we are reducing that as much as we can. So another little video here. Have a think about what you see in this video, and we'll have a chat about what you notice after.
We let people get light, and then they take them last night, and they just drew it all down. It's too cold.
Oh, they've left off 2 gates. So
Probably one of my favorite videos. Eliza, I'm going to start with you. What did you notice in that video?
How much she had in the beginning and then what she had at the end.
Absolutely. Were there any appliances you saw there that you currently are using?
Me thinking of terms of when I bought my first Thermomix,
Yeah.
I actually bought it because I didn't have anything else.
And
I
you did.
just moved back from overseas.
Yeah.
So it was perfect because
You
I
didn't need
didn't need to buy anything else. I just bought a Thermomix.
Absolutely. And same as I mentioned before, my parents bought me my first Thermomix when I moved out of home. Same deal. I didn't need any of the other things. It was just the Thermomix.
Yeah.
Judy, I know that you haven't had one from the get-go. What in that video did you notice that you may have had or have since been able to replace since having your Thermomix?
Oh, I got rid of a whole heap of stuff. I had a Sunbeam, blender, juicer, I pitched that.
Yeah.
That made space. Yeah, basically I've got rid of everything. Graters, I hate grating. They went. So yeah, it's been really quite interesting of what and sometimes I look and I go, that's going to go next because I've
Yeah.
just found a function and yeah, that'll
Yeah.
replace it.
I love that. My mother-in-law was here at one point and she was making mashed potato, and she called me and she's like, "Where is your masher?" And I was like, I don't have a masher. She's like, what do you mean? I was like, I don't have a masher. I don't think I've ever mashed potatoes by hand. And she couldn't believe that I didn't have a potato masher.
Yeah.
So have to get her on that Thermomix bandwagon, I think. Awesome. So when we are using the Thermomix, we have a few different ways that we can use it. We have our manual functions, we have our guided cooking, and then we also have our modes. We'll talk to that a little bit tonight, but we are going to get started. First recipe that we're making is the Fruity Dream. So I know that most people have probably seen this, maybe tasted it. Jude, I know that you have definitely, and Eliza have definitely had this before. But for those of you that haven't seen it before, I really hope we can wow you with this dish. I'm just going to, actually, I'm just going to wing it. Eliza, do you have your recipe card by any chance?
No, but I have my phone.
Oh, yeah, that would be great. I feel like I memorize it off by heart, but I just want to make sure.
I'm just opening it. Give me 1 sec.
That's right. I know the first bit. So this recipe we're going to cook manually. I'm not sure if you can see the screen. I'm just going to see if I can move you guys a little bit closer.
It's hard to read.
She's hard to read.
Is that better?
Yeah. Yeah. It's better to see the screen better.
Perfect. Cool. Don't need to see me. You just need to see the demo. Okay, so with this recipe, we're going to pop in some sugar. Now, the recipe usually calls for 80 grams. I am not putting that full amount of sugar in. My kids don't need it, and neither do I, to be honest. We can also substitute this for a sugar replacement. I know that I have had customers that have used honey, but you can use whatever you like. I like to reduce it to 30 grams. You do need to have some kind of sugar in here because it does make a bit of a meringue. So popped our raw sugar in, and that has weighed that on the scales as I have popped it in. Now we're going to go for 10 seconds, which is this one here. And as you can see, we've got presets. So a little bit different to the TM6, TM5, TM31. You have presets. It is much more digital than turning the speed selector. We're going for 10 seconds and we're going to go on speed 10. Could have gone the other way. And we're just going to press play.
Demonstrator vehicle planning to test drive. It's available for immediate delivery. Let's see what we'll see over.
Anyone know what that is doing in there? I know Eliza and Judy most definitely do, but has anyone got any idea as to what we have just made?
Icing sugar.
Icing sugar. Yep, I'm currently buying icing sugar. I was before I had a Thermomix, and now you can just buy raw sugar, chuck it in and blend it away, blitz it up. Going to add in our butterfly whisk now. Eliza, correct me if I'm wrong at any point of this.
No, you're all good so far.
When we put our butterfly whisk in, I'll just show you, it sits to the left side of the highest blade and it doesn't actually lock in, it just kind of sits in there. It's important to remember when you're using your butterfly whisk not to go above speed 4, and that's regardless of what model Thermomix you have. So
It actually has it written on your butterfly in case you forget.
Yes, it sure does. Yep. So we're just going to scrape down that sugar in there to make sure it catches in that egg white. And then we're going to go for 1 minute. We're going for 60 degrees. So we're going to warm that egg white and we're going to go.
65.
Well, they've changed it. I'm sure on the old preset when it was 60. And we're going speed 4, is that right?
Yep.
Perfect, thank you. So have a think. I did say that we're making a meringue, but have a think about what else you could use your butterfly whisk for while this is whipping that up. I know, you said health was really important to you. Are you currently making any of your own ice creams without that Thermomix?
No.
No, definitely not.
Yeah. No, I made that licorice ice cream the other night.
Yes, you did, Jude. How did that taste?
Oh, it tasted beautiful. I'd whip it more next time, I think.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
I have read somewhere that if you take it out more regularly and pop it back into Thermomix and blend it, it helps to stop the icicles forming and reduces the molecules. So if you're blending it more frequently, so every like hour, say, and putting it back into the freezer, blending it and doing that, then you get a better result.
I'll try that.
Who has
Yeah.
a chocolate?
Yeah.
You-
It tasted nice.
Yeah, that's the main thing.
For
Um,
butter,
What was that, sorry?
the butter.
The butter, yes. Yep. Being able to whip cream and accidentally make butter or purposely make butter. It's usually on accident here because it doesn't take very long at all.
No.
So that was just 30 seconds of whipping that egg white with our sugar. And we have a beautiful meringue here. Now, usually the recipe asks to repeat that step. I'm not going to worry about it. It's only to cook it a little bit further if there's any raw egg. I am not pregnant and don't plan to be again. So I am not worried about that at all. Love my kids, but 2 is more than enough. We're going to take that butterfly whisk out now. And we're going to add in our frozen fruit. So I'm just going to press this little button here. That'll bring our scales back up. And my kids love mango. So we're going to add in just 500 grams. The recipe does ask for 6 to 650, but we always just use 500. And we find that that works perfectly fine for our family. You can also scale this recipe up or down. We just tend to leave it at the dog will be happy with that.
It has a 4, 8, and 12 option for your serving size on Cookie Dough.
Yes, when you're looking at this recipe on Cookie Dough, obviously we're doing this manually, but when you're looking at it on Cookie Dough, you can scale it within there. I will show you guys Cookie Dough shortly. We'll have a look at that. So just got our fruit in there now, and we're going to jump out of here and we're going to blend it. So to jump out of here, I'm just pressing back on here, pressing on our picture of our blades, which is taking us to our modes, and going to blend. Eliza, is it 30 seconds, speed 8?
40, it just says blend 40 seconds. It doesn't say a speed.
We'll just leave it at speed 8. Perfect. So we've
Okay.
got 40 seconds and we're leaving it at speed 8. We're going to press play. What else could you or are you blending?
You forgot cocktails with that whisk. How could you do that, Emma?
Oh, it might not be able to hear.
She didn't hear then.
Yeah, I think it possibly cut out at her end.
Yeah. I'll say it when she comes back.
But yes, especially coming into the season we are,
Yeah, that's exactly right.
I'm sure that lots of them will be used for cocktails.
There'll be a Christmas demo coming up, and she did cocktails last year, which I used.
We did do a Christmas cocktails demo last year.
Yeah, I know. I just said you left out cocktails when we were talking about the whisk. How could you?
Oh, yes. I don't use the whisk when I do my cocktails. Pina colada is a favorite here. We use the blend function for that one.
Yeah.
But yes, cocktails definitely. And I just stopped that. You might have seen me drizzling a little bit of water in. It wasn't catching the fruit. So I've just drizzled a bit of water in. That still didn't help catch it. If you've got a TM6 or a TM5, you can put your spatula in and give that a bit of a stir. With the TM7, we don't have access to do that through this lid, but you can definitely add water in. So I've done that. I'm just going to go for another 30 seconds, speed 8, and keep blending that fruit down.
Also, you can use your whisks if you want to get lots of bubbles on top of your coffees or hot chocolates as well.
Oh, your milks, yeah.
If you want a bit of extra.
Thanks, Eliza, for chatting in there because it does cut my sound out. So I can't hear you guys and you probably can't hear me. But we have blended that fruit down. So it has done that. I'm just going to scrape it down and I'm probably just going to give it another 20 seconds because I can see that there is another chunky bit in there. And that butterfly whisk isn't going to love that. So just scrape it down a little bit more. And to be honest, I don't care how many times I have to do this because it saves my arm a workout. Although these chicken wings probably need it. We'll just put that back on and go for another 20 seconds. So it's really easy to just adjust that, drop that down to 20 seconds. And you can kind of tell by the sound of it. Obviously, you guys can't hear because it's cutting me, but you can tell by the sound of it if it's catching or not.
and taking in the aspects of the
If
Japanese.
you do like a slightly thicker dessert as well, you can actually serve this before you put the butterfly through and get the air into it.
Okay.
Just depends, everyone's preference is different.
Yeah, the first time I made this, and it just didn't chop everything up, but I didn't know. I was just using cookie dough, and then I didn't know how to actually do the time again and
Yep.
go to a manual mode. So yeah, I wasn't really happy with it, and I shoved it in the freezer and to show Emma.
And that's the good thing about cookie dough is the more you use it, the more you learn how it works, and to be able to use it manually
Yeah, makes such a
becomes so
difference.
much easier. Yep.
So I've just popped that butterfly whisk back in, and I'm just going to go 30 seconds speed 4. I'm pretty sure it's meant to be a minute, but I'm just going to go for 30 seconds and we'll have a look and see what that's looking like. Has anyone made a pav before?
Yes.
No.
No?
Yes.
Pav,
Yeah.
there's another one.
Yeah. Pav,
Yes.
Christmas pav. Yep. Everyone's, I can hear a yes. Who's saying yes?
It's
No.
Sky, I think.
Ada,
Me.
awesome. What, how did you make your pav?
Whisk the egg white.
Yep.
Put
And
the
then-
sugar. Yep.
Yep. Pretty easy, isn't it? To just pop it all in and set and forget.
Yeah.
Yeah. Without a Thermomix, I don't believe that process is as easy. I haven't done it, so I wouldn't know, but I have heard that it's not quite as easy as it is with Thermomix. Our ice cream is done. I love showing this before I take out the butterfly whisk, but look at the swirl on that.
Amazing.
My kids love mango ice cream, and I've reduced the sugar. Could add a sugar substitute if I wanted to. I don't mind them having this for dessert. We don't usually do dessert in our house, but I don't mind them having a bowl of this because it is literally just fruit, a little bit of egg, a little bit of sugar. So that is dessert done for tomorrow night. It does freeze quite well. We tend to take it out of the freezer maybe 10 minutes before we're about to have it, let it soften, and then you can either pop it back in the Thermomix and whip it back up, or just serve it like that. My kids will sit there and just eat it. They don't mind. So while I'm doing that, have a think, Eliza, about how that would make you feel to be able to make your own ice cream, knowing exactly what's in it, reducing those sugars and all the extra crap that we quite often see in those jars, packets, and containers, and being able to give the kids a quick and easy dessert on those busy nights where you know exactly what's in it. What fruit would they choose?
I think banana and strawberry.
Ooh, yum.
Yeah.
Um,
And I like it because we don't eat dessert every night.
Yeah.
So we could just do it depending on how the night goes.
Absolutely. Yeah. So quick and easy. You can be getting other things done while it's doing its thing in between, and it feeds a crowd. So this is just 500 grams, but this would easily feed the 4 of us with leftovers. You can see I'm popping it into my thermoserver here. This is actually our yogurt thermoserver, but we have some delicious fruity dream.
And I wouldn't care how much of it they ate.
No, and I mean,
No,
the
yes.
80 grams of sugar, I've put 30 grams in that, but you could reduce that further or substitute it with something else. I'm just going to pop that in the fridge. I'm not going to pop it in the freezer. I'm just going to leave it in the fridge for now. Because I don't know where I'd have room for that in my freezer. Bear with me for 2 seconds. I just need to rinse this bowl off. It's really quick and easy to wash. It can go in the dishwasher, but because I'm using it for our next dish, I just need to give it a quick wash.
Another dessert that my house loves is the quick easy sorbet. If you haven't tried it, our favorite flavor is strawberry and pear. Something different, but they love it. So, but again, you can use pretty much whatever fruit everyone likes.
Hmm. I'll have to give it another go.
Was that the sorbet or the fruity dream?
I'm pretty sure it was the fruity dream that I made, but
Okay.
yeah.
And
Oh.
it just didn't blend properly?
No, and I don't particularly like raspberries because the seeds are so big.
Yes.
So you don't get a smooth
Smooth, which
consistency
can
of
be
it.
similar with strawberries.
Yeah. Yeah.
If you like it really smooth, probably best to stick. But I do find mango and banana and possibly even avocado
Yeah.
do make it a lot smoother and like
Yeah.
more creamy because of the texture of them when they're frozen.
Yeah. And then you could buy your bananas cheap.
Yeah, just pop them
Almost
up.
ready. Yeah, almost ready. I buy them in $2 bags ready to ready for cooking.
Yeah, when they're trying to get rid of them.
Yep,
And they're almost perfect for a banana bread or a banana cake.
absolutely.
Yep, yep. So yeah, they're perfect.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll do a banana one next. That's and
And
what
you'll
did you
probably
yeah.
find if I'm doing things like mango and banana, I actually don't put any sugar in it.
No, shouldn't
No.
need it.
Making the meringue at the start then, Eliza, or are you talking about the sorbet?
The sorbets.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We're
sorbet.
just talking about the seeds in I don't like raspberries in them because the seeds don't crush up enough, and it wouldn't matter what you use, they're big.
Maybe. Yeah, I
Yeah.
know. The sorbet is more of an ice-based one, so you use fresh fruit and ice
Yeah.
rather than frozen fruit. It's not liking it.
Not quite. Yep, there you go.
Trying to do it backwards. Okay, so that was a fruity dream. Eliza, when you get your Thermomix, how do you think that will make you feel to reduce the sugars and the crap in your diet, in your home?
Really good.
Yeah, the kids will be able to have dessert. You won't feel guilt about what you're feeding them. You won't have them climbing walls because they haven't had as much sugar.
And I mean, I cut sugar out anyway when I make recipes now as it is.
Yeah, they're just
So, yeah, yeah.
And Jude, is that something that would tickle your fancy, being able to reduce some sugars, knowing exactly what's in it, no preservatives, no crap?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. That's what I look for.
Absolutely.
What I look for now. Yeah.
Well, I'm glad that that recipe has inspired you to reduce some crap out of your diets and get into a bit of a healthier way of thinking about desserts, because a lot of the time we think of dessert and we think of all that sugar and that heavy feeling and feeling crap. I just had a taste of that and I can't wait to have a little bit more after. So we saw the Thermomix milling, blending and whipping. What other things do you think that you could either blend, whip or mill, Eliza?
Blending, we do smoothies, a lot of smoothies, and soups.
Yes, definitely. Yep.
Yep.
Jude, what about you? Milling, you said before about low carb. Are you currently buying like almond meal and that kind of stuff?
Yes. Sorry. Yeah. And in actual fact, those biscuits that I made with the in it the other day, I opened up the cupboard and if you remember the last challenge, I didn't have any success with I was trying to make the almond flour and it was too moist. And I opened up the cupboard and I went, still haven't used that. So instead of getting some more almonds, I just threw it in and it was exactly 250 grams.
Yep.
And that's what I made the biscuits with. And I went, great.
Perfect.
Used up something that I actually botched up before. Yeah, which was good.
No waste, reducing that waste.
Yep, absolutely.
Awesome. Well, I can't wait to see you guys whipping up pavs. I know that there was a few of you that said that. So yes, I can't wait. That might be one of our next challenges, Jude, in the group. Get you guys making a pav. Usually when we do a demo, we look at doing a dough as well. So we won't be doing that tonight, just conscious of time and keeping you guys on late on a Saturday night. But if you would like to have your own demonstration, then we can book you in and go through making either a pizza dough, which is more like a focaccia style dough, or some little bread rolls, which are delicious with like a soup or a curry or something like that. So we have the pizza there as well. And when you're making a dough, there's no need to use a different hook. So I know with things like a KitchenAid, you need a dough hook. With a Thermomix, you don't need anything else to be able to do those things. You can just chuck it all in, turn it on, and away you go.
That's great.
So a few of our other demo dishes are the mushroom risotto. We're not making that one tonight, but when you have your demo, you can choose from a few different things and we'll tailor it to you. Tonight, we are also not doing the Marry Me chicken pasta. It is a delicious dish. I was going to do this one, but I've decided to go with a steaming dish because I do know that there are a few customers on here that may benefit from learning a little bit more about their aroma. So we are going to cook the creamy coconut chicken curry, and we're going to steam some cauliflower rice at the same time. So with this one, we're just clicking on Let's Cook, and we're going to run through some guided cooking with this. So when you're looking at this recipe, you can see it on the screen. As we scroll up, we've got our ingredients on the left. We've got a little bit more information on the right, but then it also goes into our preparation. So as an example, if we were not making the cauliflower rice tonight, we're just doing a little bit, but if we were skipping that step, pardon me, altogether, you can click on the step that you're wanting to start at and jump straight into the recipe from there. So
Sorry, Em. I'm not sure what you're using. Can you tilt it down slightly?
is that any better? No?
No.
It's very hard to read the screens.
Let me see
That's-
if I can change to this camera.
Can you tap on, like, if you're on your phone, you can tap it.
No worries, Georgia.
middle
Thank
of
you
the
for jumping
screen.
Internally, with their budgets, with their projects, all the stuff to be at home.
No, that's okay.
a little bit better.
Oh, that's a little bit
That's
better.
a bit better.
Cool. We'll leave it there. So if you're wanting to start, say for instance, the recipe asks to make a pastry at the start, but you're not doing that, you want to jump straight into the pie filling, then you can click on the step that you're wanting to start at and it'll take you straight there. So this is your method, you've got your tips, and you've also got the ability to add your notes. So this is really handy if you're making any tweaks to the recipe. If there's something that you do that you think, oh, I need to remember that for next time, you can add that in here straight on the screen of your Thermomix.
Is that on the TM6 too?
Oh, great question, Jude. I'll have to get back to you on that one.
Sorry. Yeah.
I don't think it is. You can do it on your app and then it will show on your Thermomix, but I don't think that you can do it directly on the screen of your Thermomix.
Okay. So on the,
As you go down a little bit further, we've got our nutrition panel, and then we've also got a little bit more about these dishes. So this is low carb, it is Indian, it is everyday as well. And then it shows you which collections that this recipe is featured in. So we have a few different collections. They're kind of like cookbooks, but digital. And then we also have some other dishes that are similar to this that you may like as well. A little bit of inspiration there. So for this one, we're just going to go straight into start cooking. And excuse me for 2 seconds. I'm just going to mute and get this dog out.
I missed. Oh,
Sorry, I just need to get the dog out. What did you say, Liza? Sorry?
no, you're right. Sorry, go Em.
Oh, that's right. So the first thing to do for this recipe is we are going to make our cauliflower rice. Now, we're not making a huge batch of cauliflower rice because my family don't really love it, but I wanted to show you guys just how quick and easy it is to do it anyway. So we're using what cauliflower I have left here. I haven't even weighed it, but as you'll see on the scales here, it will weigh it as I tip it in. So it's asked for 350 grams. We've got 221, totally fine. Putting that lid on. Who's currently buying cauliflower rice?
I asked, sorry, there's two things happening here. I asked Emma about, could you do your notes, write your notes on the TM6?
Oh, no, you can't.
Okay, and she said she thought you could do it on the app.
I think you can do it on the app and then it will show on your screen, but I don't think that you can actually do it on the screen.
Practice, Eliza.
So if anyone, Eliza, you said that you are a little bit health conscious, and same with you, Jude, going low carb. Are you currently buying your cauliflower rice? Is it something that you're having?
I'm not a real fan of the cauliflower rice as such, as a replacement for rice with like with a stew or whatever you've made or a curry. But I do use it as a thickener instead of using any of the flours or corn flour. Because if you put that into a stew near the end, it thickens it.
Yeah, it will absorb some of those flavors.
Yeah. And so I use it quite a bit for that.
That's really clever.
Thank
you. Eliza, are you currently having cauliflower rice?
No, we're not fans.
No, that's okay. Not always for everyone. So I've popped in my cauliflower here. I'm going to press next, and it's preset for us. So before we had to select the time, the temperature, the speed. For this one, it is already set, ready to go. So we're just going to press play on that. And you may realize that on the screen, it actually has a little picture of a reverse. This is just putting our blades in the backwards position. spinning it backwards so that we are bashing the cauliflower rather than blitzing it completely. Spatula.
Okay.
Now, when I'm making something like cauliflower rice, I don't like to have much waste. So I use the full stalk of the cauliflower as well, which would usually probably get thrown in the bin at my house. So that is how quick and easy it was. 5 seconds, reverse, speed 5. Again, if you're not actually having it as rice, you can definitely still chop it up like that to then add into your stews or anything else like that, Jude. But we tend to do the same, particularly with this recipe. I just stir it through the curry and then I'll serve it with a smaller portion of rice. So we're still having rice, but we're getting those good nutrients from the cauliflower as well. My kids don't mind cauliflower, but my husband, not such a fan. So I've just tipped that into my varoma here. And what you may see, I'm just going to closer, is that I've created a little hole in the middle.
Just going to say that.
That's just going to allow for more steam to circulate around there. And of course, you don't have to add cauliflower. You could add whatever you like. You can do tomorrow night's veggies. You can be doing whatever you want with the from this dish at the same time. That's just going to do another batch of cauliflower. We're skipping that. Cleaning and drying mixing bowl, I'm not worrying about that because the cauliflower is going in our dinner anyway. And now we're going to add in our ginger and our garlic. Now, I'm going to be honest here, I am using ginger paste because I forgot to buy ginger at the shops, but there is no reason why you can't. The recipe is just a guide. If you don't have it, it is totally fine. And again, it said 1 clove of garlic. I think I've got 4 in there because you measure garlic with love. And chilies, I'm ticking off, but I'm not putting them in just because the kids aren't huge fans. So I will pop chili on ours once we serve it tomorrow night. So going for 3 seconds, speed 7. I'd love to know how long would that take you to chop if you were doing it by hand? I personally wouldn't bother. I would not. I would buy the jars because I wouldn't bother cutting it fresh. But since owning a Thermomix, I don't buy jars of garlic. I cut it fresh. I'm just going to grab some olive oil.
I think that's the one thing my Thermomix saves me the most time with.
Chopping?
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah. So let's pretend you didn't have a Thermomix. How long would that have taken you to do without it?
I'd hate to think.
Absolutely.
Far too long, I wouldn't bother.
Yeah. And do you know what's in the jars that you're buying? Like the jars of garlic paste and all of that kind of stuff?
Not just what needs to be in there.
Absolutely.
Lots of extra things.
So in there, I've just popped a little bit of oil and some onions. The onions were just chopped like so into little wedges, and that is going in there. We're going to saute that using the high heat function. I personally like to leave this off. It doesn't actually matter with the TM7. I just like as much liquid to escape as possible and let that steam out without falling in. We're going for 4.5 minutes, 160 degrees, and it says gentle here. Anyone have a crack at what you think that might actually mean?
Saute, I guess. A saute?
Yeah, so it's sauteing it gently and it's replicating exactly what you would be doing on your stove. So if you were making a curry without a Thermomix, you would have your onion and your garlic into your fry pan, you'd saute that off, and then you'd add, you'd garlic and ginger, and then you would add your onion. You probably can't hear it just yet, but it is starting to saute and it's starting to really sizzle. You'll also notice that the smile on the Thermomix is slowly changing color. It was green, yellow, now it's orange, and now red. So this is just indicating that the internal bowl is hot. The outside of this bowl is insulated, so it is not hot to touch. The insulated bowl is made of, I think it's about 35% recycled material. A lot of people ask, why is it black? And that is why, because if you were using recycled material, it would stain if you had a white insulated cover. Took a little while for me to grow to love the black, but I do quite enjoy it. I really love it. I can smell that, and I wish you guys could too, because it is absolutely amazing. If only we had smell-o-vision. But what would you be doing with 4.5 minutes if you we're making this with a Thermomix and not on the stove.
I'd be chopping up whatever's or getting out whatever's going in next, because I don't. When you do demonstrations and you've got it all weighed out and you've got all your beautiful little bowls, all I think of is the washing up afterwards.
Yep.
Yeah, so I tend to only prepare little bits and then prepare as it's cooking.
Yeah, absolutely.
Doing the next steps as that's cooking.
If I wasn't doing it like I've done, prepped it for tonight, I would just have a chopping board and knife and that was it. So
Yeah.
100% right. There are a few more dishes, but I do make sure that they're dishwasher safe so I can just chuck them all in there. Is anyone making a curry at the moment? How are you making that? You said about jars and packets and all those kind of things. Are you using jars and packets to make your curries, Eliza?
Yes, I am. I'm not good at this.
And
No, I'm not.
no, Jude's got a TM6. She's all she's not using
no. Well, the first thing you find in the Skinny Mixers books is the your first thing is what have I got? Taco seasoning, a Malaysian curry, an Indian, and I'm about to do Greek, and part of the challenge.
Yeah.
Now I'm giving away my secrets. Yeah, I think it's Greek I'm doing tomorrow night. The Greek and the Greek seasonings, and then one of the stews in there is fabulous. You just keep making different seasonings and throwing in different veggies, and you've got different meals every night. Yeah, like it.
Yeah, so good. We recently went away and we went camping. I had made up all my spice mixes. I'd taken all my jars of like tandoori paste and that. I'd marinated my chicken at home with my tandoori paste and my yogurt, popped it into the little baggies and was ready to go. Got to our first destination and realized that I'd forgot to bring the rest of the tandoori sauce. So I had to go to the shops and buy a packet because it was going to be quite dry if we didn't add any sauce. And we were sitting down eating it, and I hadn't told the kids that it was from a packet, but they said, "Mummy, what is this?" And I said, "It's curry." And they said, "It's not the same as what we usually have." And I said, "No, I know, we had to use a packet." And by the end, we all had really itchy lips. The preservatives had really just attacked us. We were feeling really itchy, and the kids' behavior was actually off the charts. I know that they'd been in the car for a little while that day, but just the crap that was in the food, we noticed a difference in the taste, but also how our bodies reacted to that crap as well. So very interesting. I was never really someone that cared too much about packets and jars and all that kind of stuff. But since we've completely eliminated it, purely for the fact of how easy it is to make it, having those things on that odd occasion, it really does. You really notice the differences and the effects of it.
Yeah.
Give me 2 seconds while I just deal with my dog again and bring.
The tandoori paste on cookie dough, we use it for this recipe, but it's such a good, like you can use it for so many different things.
Tandoori paste.
Yeah, add that one to your list, Jude. It's gonna be
And it makes a huge amount, but you can freeze it and still scoop it out. It won't freeze solid.
Yeah.
So don't be scared to store it in your freezer.
So you could just put it in a jar.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't have to put it in cubes or anything. That's good.
No.
Excellent.
I don't know if you can see because it's
Yep.
hard to see, but you can see some browning on the bottom of the bowl here. So our onions have softened nicely. They're probably not as brown as I would usually have them, but I think with this recipe in particular, it continues to cook the onions down with the sauce and all of the rest of the things. So I'm not too worried about that. And I'm just going to press next and add in the next ingredient. So you can see it on the screen already for us to just tick off as we go. A little tip, when you are storing your tomato paste, yes, I'm naughty, yes, I buy it, yes, I probably should make it. When you are storing it, store it in your fridge upside down. It stops it going moldy. It creates a bit of an airlock in the very top, and it stops it from going moldy. I don't know what magic it is, but it works. I've never had moldy tomato paste since doing that, but before doing that, I always was throwing out jars or just scooping off the moldy bit because, let's be honest, don't always have spare jars of tomato paste laying around. A little tip with this recipe too, when you're making it, don't do it in the order that it says. Go with your tomato paste first, and then you don't have to worry about changing your spoon because there's tomato paste in your tandoori paste. If you do the tandoori paste first, Then you go into your tomato paste and you're going to contaminate. This way you're not contaminating. So as Eliza said, this is the homemade tandoori paste. This is from the fridge, not the freezer, but it does make quite a lot. This actually gave us 2 jars worth. And once you've bought the ingredients to make stuff like this, it's so quick and easy to just chuck it all in and turn it on and make it. I think it's 20 seconds of blending.
I don't know what you use, Em, but I can never find the Kashmiri chili powder, so I've just always used normal chili powder. If you are
I
looking.
actually don't put it in.
Oh, there you go.
I used to, and then it is hard to come by. You can get it at Indian and Asian grocers, but I don't put it in because sometimes the kids don't always love spice, but also because it is a demo dish, my customers don't always love a whole lot of spice either.
Yep. See, I tend to leave out the chilies.
Yeah, I leave out the chilies and then I reduce the tandoori paste as well. So I'm going to go for 100 grams of water.
Parasites like heartworm, fleas, ticks, and more. To Katrina, protect you with the dogs.
And you'll notice now that there's a little green section that's popped up and it's automatically ticking that off for us. So when you get in the right area with the right amount of weight, it will tick it off. Now, I was guilty of not having any almond meal before our demo, but I did have a whole bag of almonds. Oh, sorry, a container of almonds. So I just quickly chucked in 100 grams of almonds into the other Thermomix, and I only do small batches at a time because it can go rancid. This recipe is just asking for 20 grams.
That's much better than what I made.
Yeah.
I still haven't mastered that.
Oh, this was just 10 seconds, speed 10. So give that a try, dude.
Okay, I'll try it again. And about, what, 100 grams it looks like, if that.
Yeah, that was 100 grams. I
Yeah.
only do 100 grams at a time just because it can go yucky.
100 grams. What was it? 100 grams, speed 10.
Yep, 10 seconds, speed 10.
Speed 10, 10 seconds.
So this is our chicken thigh. I haven't weighed that, but we've got about 650 grams. Recipe asks for 500, but I do find that this recipe is quite saucy, so a little bit of extra chicken never goes astray.
Judy, if you have a look at your chop function on your TM6, there under almonds, or I think it's 3 different nuts, it actually gives you an option just to chop them up or make them into almond meal
Aha.
on your manual modes.
This Eliza can just keep coming, you know, Emma.
Yeah. A bit of a gem. I keep her around for a
She's
reason.
a gem.
So we've got our chicken and all of our things in there. Now you might have noticed that we use the almond meal because we spoke about it, but that is our thickening agent. And that is also low carb, but it's also gluten-free. So it does mean that this dish is dairy-free, gluten-free, egg-free, all things free except for nuts. So we're going to add our lid and our varoma now. Click next. And we're going to steam that for 8 minutes. You can actually see here when you're steaming with the TM7, you can choose if you've got something in the varoma, the simmering basket, or both. So perhaps you've got some rice in the bottom here and some veggies up top. You can choose to have like what you're actually steaming. So for tonight, we've just got our cauliflower at the top. So we're going to press play on that. Just going to move some of this stuff out. Is anyone using the Thermomix for steaming?
Yes.
Jude, have you used your Thermomix for steaming?
Yeah, I have. Well, I do the omelette. I do that nearly once a week, usually, somewhere we have omelettes. But and I've used it for veggies, but I find with is there another tray on the TM7 as well, which is, yeah, I had sort of mixed veggies and bits and the other night. I find that's hard to dish up with onto a plate. Rather than put it on, I don't know, tip it into a bowl and then serve with a spoon or something. That was the only disadvantage. That I cooked it nicely, but I was trying to get it on the plate nicely. I just ended up tipping it on and getting cheesed off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We tend to use a big tablespoon and scoop it off of here. But
Yeah.
it does have the 2 layers. So you've got your dish and then you've got your tray. So the dish on the TM7 Varoma is big enough to fit 2 whole roast chooks. And you can cook them in here side by side and then just finish them off in an oven or an air fryer. But you do
Okay.
also have the ability of layering. So you can do, last night we had a roast. Mark cooked the veggies in here first. So he steamed the potatoes before he roasted them. Then he did the cauliflower and broccoli in here while he did the peas and corn on top. And then he made a bechamel sauce, put the cauliflower and broccoli into the oven with the bechamel, and then he made a gravy. So it doesn't have to be for the whole meal. It can be for components of, but the only thing that we don't use a Thermomix for when we're doing a roast is the actual meat. So thinking about your traditional standard meat and veg dishes, you can definitely be using the Thermomix for that as well.
Yeah.
I'm doing a roast chicken in mine tomorrow night, and later on in the week I'm doing a silver side.
Yes, yep. I haven't done silver side in mine for ages, but I do need to, especially with this
So
one.
does that just go in the bowl, Eliza?
You
The
steam
silver
it.
In
side?
the Varoma.
Oh,
And
it's in the
then
Verona. Okay.
depending on how big it is, because I haven't actually done one since I've had my TM7,
Okay.
I usually steam some pumpkin at the same time, or some potato, or if you can fit whatever veggies in,
Let's look
just
that one
they
up.
wouldn't probably need the whole time if they were smaller vegetables.
Yeah.
So you
Okay.
put them in a little bit later.
In the Verona. Now, I would never have thought of that.
But if it covers your whole base of your Varoma, just pop your butterfly under it so the steam can come up
Come up. Yeah.
and yeah, go around. When you were mentioning about it being hard to serve from the top dish, the top tray, if it's something you can serve all together, you could pour it into your bottom dish and serve it all together, but it
Yeah.
depends on what it is.
Yeah. It was peas and corn and it was driving me nuts.
Yeah.
And I was trying to get it on out quickly, so it was all hot.
Hot, yeah.
They tend to just tip it up and then they kind of fall through the little gap where the handles are. And they, especially just peas and corn, they'll go through that little gap.
Yeah.
It's annoying. I agree. Yeah. Get the TM7 and you
It
won't
was
have that.
just annoying, you know.
Yeah. So while that is steaming, I just want to have a little chat about Cookie Dough. So Cookie Dough is our recipe platform. It is built into the Thermomix. You can have that on your phone everywhere. Like I have it on my phone. Mark has it on his phone. I have customers who have it on their kids' iPads. There is lots of different recipes and collections, lots of different things that you can have a look on Cookie Dough. I haven't personally done my meal plan for this week yet because I just haven't got to that today. But you do have the ability for meal planning. You also have the ability for shopping lists as well. So as I mentioned before, part of my customer service is having my private customer group, but I also run a monthly Cookie Dough workshop. So you come along on Zoom, same as this, and I run through how to use Cookie Dough, how to change your filters, how to create a meal plan, how to create a shopping list, and then how to create and upload recipes into your own collection with your created recipes. So it might be your Nana's recipe, it might be your favorite cheesecake, whatever it might be, but being able to convert that from your own standard recipe onto the Thermomix so that you can cook it in your Thermomix as well. So when you're looking at your recipes, you can see them all on here. These are our recently cooked and our bookmarked. But when you are wanting to search, you can just press on the search and look for anything. So you can search by recipe, you can search by ingredient, but you can also search by function. So maybe it's the let's go fermentation. You haven't used the fermentation mode before, so you're wanting to search for something so that you can give that a crack. You can just type in fermentation and recipes will pop up. Eliza, what is something that, pretending that you don't have a Thermomix, you have had recently that we can search for on Cookie Dough?
Chocolate chip cookies.
Just going to cheat and just do cookies because
That's fine too.
easier. So I have literally just typed in the word cookies and I have 207 results. So I have my filters set. So I have taken off the Australian filter and I have the English filter, which gives me access to the UK and the US recipes as well, because they are all English speaking. If you are, yesterday I delivered a customer, a Thermomix to a customer who is Argentinian, and she has changed all of her filters. She speaks multiple languages, but she knows how to read it. So she has multiple different filters set, and she has so many recipes that she can cook because she can speak different languages. If you are looking for a traditional recipe, maybe it's an Italian recipe, you can use Google Translator as well to translate that recipe over for you too. So here, Eliza, I have found you a white chocolate chip cookie. It's a chewy one. We have sourdough discard. I know you're into your sourdough. So being able to make some discard cookies as well and reducing your waste there. But there are lots and lots of different cookie recipes. This chocolate chip cookie recipe here looks great. And right next to it is a gluten-free one that I could give a try for Indie. So lots and lots of different recipes when you're searching. Jude, what is something that you have cooked recently in your TM6?
That I have cooked.
Yep.
I thought you were going to say haven't, and I'm going, I need to get back to yogurt.
Yogurt. All right, let's type in yogurt. Y-O-G. So hard to type backwards. I feel like I'm a bit upside down. So I've just typed in the word yogurt and I have 788 recipes. Now, not all of these recipes are just yogurt. They are recipes that contain yogurt.
Plain yogurt, yeah.
So it might be like that salmon has a yogurt dressing. We have a Greek yogurt here. We have chicken with yogurt tahini sauce. Lots of different recipes for not just yogurt. We've got a chocolate yogurt. We've got coconut yogurt, mango yogurt with condensed milk, beetroot potato patties with yogurt, red berry yogurt, so many different recipes. So if you're wondering about, maybe it is that you have a cookie recipe that you make your own. Diane makes her own coconut yogurt. Great. Is that a cookie recipe, Diane, or is that from your own recipe? Cookie dough recipe. Great. Yep. So I know we also have the recipe community. So you can bring recipes over from there onto your cookie dough as well. But cookie dough is so versatile. There are lots and lots of different things. I think if you have a recipe that you usually make, so something like deviled sausages maybe, something that I tend to make with a little sachet, being able to just type that into cookie dough or the recipe community, there are lots of recipes on there for those kind of traditional things as well that you can give a shot. Any questions about cookie dough?
1,000, but I need to look at your class again.
Yep. Next Wednesday night. So it's the last Wednesday of every month at 7:30. The link that you would have registered for tonight's class on has all of our upcoming classes.
Yeah, I saw that.
We've also got our Feed a Crowd class happening on Wednesday night this week as well. So jump on and have a look at that too. So we're just going to stir our cauliflower, make sure that is all cooking evenly. Looks pretty good. Smells pretty good. Not the cauliflower, but the actual dough. And we're going to steam that for another 4 minutes. So while that is steaming, I just want to quickly jump in here to our modes. So we spoke a little bit before about some of the modes. At the moment, you can see that the steaming, and we probably can't actually. Is that any better?
No, I can't read it.
And now can you tilt it down, Em?
Yeah. It's not easy because it's like a TV
Right.
screen. You
Oh,
can't.
that's actually a little bit better.
Yeah, a little bit better.
A bit better?
I do like that spatula.
Yep.
Okay, so we've got our manual mode. We spoke about that. We did that with our ice cream, but you can literally cook anything in here. As we said before too, about like making almond meal, you can make your own breadcrumbs, you can chop an onion. You don't have to cut it by hand. Being able to do whatever you need manually. We've got our pre-clean. So you just add in enough water to cover the blades, a drop of dishwashing liquid, and it will just jizz that around and give your bowl a nice rinse. As I mentioned, everything is dishwasher safe except for this insulated cover. So that I don't recommend putting in the dishwasher, but everything else is dishwasher safe. We've got the dough function, which we can definitely show you when you have your demo next time. But ultimately, 1 minute of kneading in the Thermomix is the equivalent to 1 minute of, 1 minute of kneading in the Thermomix is the equivalent to 10 minutes by hand. So if you have maybe a scone recipe or something that you do manually yourself, being able to just chuck all of those ingredients in here and use it for just kneading that is going to save you so much time and energy. Browning, we did that with the onions, the garlic, and the ginger before, but it's ultimately replicating what you would be doing on your stove, just giving that nice caramelization to your food, and it just adds a whole heap of depth of flavor to your dishes. Steaming, so we're steaming at the moment, but you can, like we said, we've done spoken about the silver side, we've spoken about chickens, but even just some fish and veggies, omelets, anything like that, you can use it just as a steamer. We have our turbo function, so that one's really good for chopping nuts. I tend to use that one for my cheesecake bases. Very much the same as the TM6. There's not much variations between these functions with the TM7 to the TM6. We just have the addition of the browning, which is accessible outside of a recipe, as well as open cooking, which we'll see shortly. The blend function, so we did that with the ice cream, but that one, as Eliza said, is also really good for things like soups and smoothies. Just being able to chuck it all in and turn it on. You don't need to worry about weighing it. If it's hot, maybe you've cooked, I don't know, I tend to do a whole pumpkin in the oven. I scoop out the middle and I add in like onion, garlic, whatever flavors I want into there, let that roast, and then I just pop the whole thing into here. So it doesn't matter if it is hot, it will blend it for you. You don't need to wait for it to cool down first.
That's a bonus.
So, and yeah, it's really safe, which is great because a lot of people do get a little bit worried about that. Egg boiler, so popping your eggs into the bottom of the bowl with your water and just turning it on. The blade stays stationary for that mode, so you're just bringing the water to the boil. This one's also really good for things like hot dogs as well as 2-minute noodles. We also used it while we were away to just boil. We had some veggies that like peas and corn. We just popped them in the bowl and just brought them to the boil, and then once they were floating, we knew that they were fine. Open cooking, you'll see that shortly, but that is pretty much cooking with the lid off, much the same as what you do on your stove, just replicating that and being able to, you know, stir, taste, all of those things. Kettle function, as it mentions, it's kettle, so you can choose the temperature that you want to bring that water, milk, whatever it is to, and it will bring it to that for you. Warm up.
Sorry, Emma, what did you, if you just want to do it to boil veggies or your noodles or whatever, what function did you use? I thought it was kettle, but it's not.
Egg boil. With the egg boiler function, the blades.
Oh, the egg.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Yep.
with the kettle function, the blades are moving, whereas with the egg boil one, the blades are not moving. Yeah. Warm up function is obviously, as it says, warming up. I tend to use that one for things that are quite saucy. So maybe it's like a hollandaise or a spaghetti sauce or something like that, a soup, anything like that. The rice cooker function is using the absorption method. I personally prefer to use a steamed rice recipe of cookie dough because then I have the ability to steam up the top at the same time. I'm not just cooking rice in the bottom. I can do both at the same time. I mentioned before about Mark's roast last night. He did the bechamel and he also did the gravy. That's literally just the thickened mode. So we use the pan juices, a little bit of water, and then some Grey Vox powder or corn flour, depending on what flavor we're going for. And then we just pop it all in here and turn thickened mode on. You don't need to worry about weighing it out, melting the butter first, you know, making that roux. It just all happens in the one function. Slow cook function, don't let the size of the bowl deceive you. It can actually slow cook up to 1.5 to 2 kilos of meat at a time. Obviously, if you don't have meat, you can do veggies and stuff like that. There's a recipe for slow cooked chickpeas. There is lots of recipes, but I would really recommend having a look at Cookie Dough. If you don't yet have Cookie Dough, you can download Cookie Dough and get a 1-month free trial. Then once you get your Thermomix, we can hook that up and you'll get an extra 3 months for free. And then after that, it's just $89 per year. We've got fermentation, so we spoke before about that with the yogurt, but being able to make sauerkraut and that kind of stuff as well, especially for you, Jude and Eliza, who have spoken about health and that gut health. They are really healthy like recipes to be able to just set and forget, really, and not having to think about too much. Sous vide, you don't need any fancy equipment for that. You can just pop a Ziploc bag in here with your either your blade cover if you've got one of those, or it just goes into your simmering basket. And I forgot I haven't got my simmering basket out to show you. Lots of recipes on Cookie Dough, but you can just use that recipe manual, that function manually as well. The peeler, if you have the TM6, the peeler is interchangeable between the 6 and the 7. If you don't have one, then don't rush out to get one because I do believe that they are in the process of fancifying it for the TM7. But that will probably be available, I'd probably say early next year. Then we have our grater, our spiralizer, and our slicer. That is our Cutter Plus, which is available at the moment. When you come on board as a consultant, if you make just one sale in your first 30 days, you'll actually receive that for free. So that's pretty cool for our new consultants. For those that are not interested in coming on board and consulting, you're crazy, but you'll probably be able to get your hands on that at some stage next year. Any questions about any of those functions?
Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
So I'm just going to remove that varoma and set that aside. Our cauliflower rice has cooked.
Why? So you've also got a tip from Margie. So that means let's take a quick with a bit of you can take over the world.
Looking for coconut cream, which I forgot to get out. I'll just grab that. I never remember if it's coconut.
All thanks to you.
We haven't ever made their own coconut cream. I am cheating today, but you can make your own coconut cream. It is desiccated coconut and water. And when I went to Fiji recently, they actually showed us how they make coconut cream and milk straight from the coconuts. And that was absolutely amazing watching them do that and then tasting the difference between that and what we buy here in Australia. It was pretty crazy. Even the taste of the desiccated coconut straight from the coconut versus what we have here is just, you can't even compare it. It's not comparable. It's so much nicer over there. So we're going with 90 grams of coconut cream. Just going to tear those scales, which I had already done. And I can't even see what I'm doing. We'll go for that. Oh, what do you know? Done this once or twice before. And it's ticking that off for us. And then I believe we're leaving our lid off. I haven't actually done this recipe since having the TM7. So we're going to stir with the spatula. And I'll show you guys what that looks like. Let me just stir that. So for those of you that are my customers and even my consultants, you'll know that I fractured my elbow a little while ago, but I'm still having a lot of trouble with it. And being able to use the Thermomix to cook, grate, slice, do all of the things has made my life so much easier because there's no way known I'd be able to stand by the stove and stir like this for a prolonged period of time. So being able to do it in the Thermomix is a game changer. At the moment, we are using the open lid cooking. So it doesn't sound like anything, you can't hear anything, but you can see the time is counting down. And if I just take you off there, you can see that it is bubbling away in there as well. So it's replicating exactly what you would do on your stove. The only thing that you do need to be mindful of when you are doing open lid cooking is that you, just get you guys back on there. Need to give it a stir every now and again. This is only a 3-minute cook, so I'd probably only stir it once. But if you're doing something like a pasta dish, you'll need to stir it once or twice, or even just boiling pasta, you'll need to stir it intermittently, much like you would do on your stove, just, pardon me, because those blades aren't stirring. Eliza, have you used this function in your TM7?
The open cooking?
Yeah.
Yes. Yep.
Yep.
Mainly for this recipe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have done not necessarily this recipe, but I did a different curry. I did the Skinny Mixes curry and it wasn't quite ready. Sorry, the curry was ready before I was ready. And so I just left it on open cooking to simmer while I finished getting everything else ready. And it just kept it nice and warm without having to keep turning it on. I know with the TM6, if I need to keep something warm, I have to keep turning it on for 1 or 2 minutes and then setting the temperature. Whereas this, I just set it and I just went back and stirred it every now and again.
But I also find with the with the insulated bowl, even just leaving the lid on, it stays warmer for a lot longer.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. There's no need. I was just a bit curious when I first got it and I was like, oh.
Yeah. Yeah.
My daughter was making pizza dough. We had pizzas with our next door neighbors tonight for dinner. And we were in a bit of a rush. And I said, Indy, are you making the dough? And she said, yeah, Mum, it's on. And it was already doing its thing. I didn't realize that it was on because it was so much quieter. So that is probably one of the biggest differences that we've noticed with the TM7 is how quiet it is. And even with our kitchen being in our lounge room area, the kids, as soon as I turn the TM6 on, they crack it because they can't hear the tally, but with the TM7, they can still hear the tally. So it's a bit of a win in our house. Does anyone have any questions about the open cooking or any of the modes that we spoke about before?
No.
No? Perfect.
Thank
Well,
you,
while
Fiona.
that's just bubbling away, I'm actually going to pop that cauliflower in because this is how we will be serving it. If you were doing this yourself, you might like to just serve it on the bed of cauliflower. I prefer to just stir it in because that's just how we prefer to have it. But we'll just make some rice tomorrow night to go with that, and dinner is done. One of the beauties of being a consultant is being able to make tomorrow night's dinner tonight while supporting our customers. And now tomorrow night, I don't even have to think about it. I probably should have shown you guys first because now it looks gross. But I do love also, like what Jude said before, being able to absorb that extra. As I said, this recipe is quite saucy. So being able to absorb some of that sauce with the cauliflower, even though we've steamed it, is going to help as well. Just soak up some of that juiciness. So it doesn't look very appealing because, as I mentioned, I have added in that cauliflower, but the flavors of this, and if you could smell it, it is absolutely to die for. So that is dinner done. I'm just going to leave that there while we finish off. So it's just saying to divide it. You can add some coriander, some chili, and serve it with whatever you like. But that recipe is done. Super quick and easy. Eliza, I'm going to start with you. What do you think it would mean to you if you could make something like that without a packet or a jar? Because you use packets and jars all the time.
Yes, just again coming back to knowing what's in our food,
Yep.
but it's not taking that much time either. So I can be doing things with the kids rather than standing at the stove.
Yeah, you've got 5-minute cook times. So you could be doing a reader, you could be popping them in the shower, whatever it might be, getting them ready for the night.
Yeah.
Yeah. Awesome.
I was just going to say, I find because it's only the two of us, so we're not into the biscuits and the cakes and the very much because I get to eat them all, and I don't want that. So I find that what I like about the meals is it's enough for four. So for me, it's a meal, 2 meals tonight, and then I either miss a day and make something else, and then use the other 2 meals, the other 2 portions up, or I freeze it.
Yeah.
And yeah, so I know you can, not all of them you can scale down, but some of them you can, and I've done that. But yeah, 4 works for me because it's 2 meals now and 2 meals later.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And sometimes lunches, like for us, this recipe, I think it serves 6, but there will generally be leftovers. Again, it depends how much rice we cook,
Yeah.
the rest of things. But because we've added that cauliflower in too, it fills us up a lot more. We don't need as much rice, but it also extends the meal, so it goes that bit further.
Yeah, agree.
I've noticed you've jumped off mute. Did you have something you wanted to ask or say?
No, it just popped up that you wanted me off mute, so I thought I'd do the right thing and take myself off mute.
Oh, I must have accidentally pressed it when I was fluffing around. Sorry.
That's all right.
Thank you. Awesome. So now that we've shown you the Thermomix, seen all of the different things, we have our cooking center, which is accessible at the top of the Thermomix. You've got your timer, you've got your scales, and you've got your pre-clean. They're accessible at any time. So you can access your timer, set that when you're making your breads and doughs or popping your roast, whatever it might be. You've also got your scales, so you can be weighing things at the same time as cooking, and they are by the gram, so they're a little bit more precise than most scales. And then you've got your pre-clean. So as I mentioned before, depends how dirty your bowl is, popping a little bit of dishwashing liquid and some water, and it will give it a bit of a sparkle before you pop it in the dishwasher. So we've spoken about cookie dough. I would recommend jumping on to our cookie dough workshop. If I am not your consultant, please reach out to your consultant for the link. Otherwise, if I am your consultant, then you should have seen it in the private customer group. Otherwise, I will send it again at some point between now and next Wednesday. Ultimately, 30-day free trial right now, 3 months for free once you activate your Thermomix, and then you'll also get, then after that, it's only $89 per year after. So we have the cookie dough session that runs once a month, and you can come along to as many of those sessions as you like. Find that people pick up something different each time. So what's left for you to do? Eliza, you've seen the Thermomix. I know you really want one, but would you be interested in having your own demonstration to decide and show your husband what it's all about?
Yes, that's what I did when I first looked into it. Yep.
And I spoke before a little bit about the recipes. So we have the Fruity Dream, we have the 2 different doughs, and then we have the risotto, the chicken pasta or the curry. What do you think would be on your menu?
The ice cream, the pizza,
Yep.
and the pasta with the chicken.
Yeah, delicious. Awesome.
Mm.
I will chat to you at the end and we'll organize that demo. Jude, do you think you'd like to see a little bit more of the TM7?
Well, I'm not buying the TM7M. Sorry.
Absolutely, totally fine. I'm
only just getting used to my TM6.
I'm just role playing with this for the girls that are on here for training. But
Yeah.
that this is what we would usually say is asking, what
Yeah.
would you do next?
No, well, it's certainly impressive. If you were seeing it for the first time and what you've done, yeah, it's you sort of go, right, yeah, and in your own place where you're actually not tasting anything. So that would be the bonus of having a demo.
Being able to actually
taste all the
play
food.
with the Thermomix itself. Like you might have a TM6, but being able to actually use the TM7 and use the screen on this one, it's a totally different user experience.
Yeah.
So for those of you that are on here or maybe watching the recording back, if you're interested in having your own demonstration, please reach out to your consultant or to myself. If you're not in touch with a consultant, please reach out to me and I can pop you in touch with someone. But the best way, as Jude has just said, is to see it, taste it, touch it, feel it, all of the things to get a really good idea on whether or not it would be something that you would like to invest in. So I've said a few times throughout tonight's demo about what my customer support looks like. I'm just going to run over that. So when you get your Thermomix, I deliver it, I set it up. We go through how it all works together. After that, we can do as many or as little demos as you like. We just ask that you have 2 to 3 different people each time. And we cook a different menu. So just to get you to see what the Thermomix is all about and making sure that you're getting the most out of it. I have my private customer group, and then we also have our cookie do sessions, as well as our online demos like tonight, as well as our classes as well. So the classes are run by our team. So it's usually a few different girls that present, which is a really good way of finding out new hints and tips. As we've learned tonight with Eliza, she's a wealth of knowledge. So being able to hear not only from me, but from the other girls as well, you'll pick up so much more by coming to those classes, regardless of what model Thermomix you have. Yes, we use the TM7, but you'll still learn things about the TM6, TM5 as well. And obviously my private customer group, my Instagram, that kind of thing, we have lots of inspiration. So not only from me, but from the other customers that are sharing what they're cooking and making as well. So Eliza, I'm going to start with you. What did you love about tonight's demonstration?
Still going back to that I knew exactly what was going in it, but also that I can add and like take things out. So even though you're following a recipe, you can change it to how you like it.
Yeah, it's guided. You can,
and that works for my family. Like the kids, they're not going to eat chilies.
Yeah, exactly why I didn't put them in now. Yeah. Thank you so much for sharing. Those of you that are not off mute, if you would love to pop in the chat box what you have found really interesting tonight. What did you love about seeing the TM7? I'd love it if you could come off mute, but if you don't feel comfortable coming off mute, then please pop it in the chat and let us know what you have loved seeing. Because it's not just about Eliza and Jude, it's about all of you. I'm just using them because they are off mute and they are helping to be my customers. Eliza, still staying with you for 2 seconds. What would you make first when you get your TM7?
Ooh.
Lots to choose from.
Yeah, there is a lot to choose from. Do you want to check with Judy and I'll come back to me?
Okay, Jude?
Oh, God, I wasn't listening. Sorry.
If you were to get the TM7, what do you think would be one of the things that you would cook first?
Probably a whole meal. It looked very like one of those curries or one of those meals or that creamy, what is it? The fettuccine. Oh my God, that's my favorite.
I'm really interested to try that one with the open lid cooking in the TM7. It would be
Yeah,
because it won't be adding as much liquid and all the things. Yep.
yeah.
Awesome. Thanks for sharing.
But tonight was really different, Em, and it was great. And I'd like to thank Eliza because between the two of you, I've written lots of notes here. And so tomorrow I can go out and try some of those tips. And so that was really valuable tonight. I love tonight.
Oh, I'm really glad to hear that,
Yeah.
Jude. Thank you. And please come along to as many as you can because you will always learn something, whether that be from me or the other girls. There's
Yeah.
wealth
No,
of-
that's great.
Awesome. I can just see here that Em has said it's quite different to the TM6.
Mm.
In which way in particular have you noticed the differences, Emma? Because yes, it is very different. I'm just interested to see what in particular you have picked up that is most different.
I think it just looks different from what I think, obviously not having really seen it, just from my own expectations, knowing what the TM6 is like. And I even had Thomas sitting with me earlier and he was like, Mum, there's no button. And I was like, no. And he's like, can we still keep the other one? Because I like the button. So it's just, I think, yeah, it'll take a little minute to get used to because he's just really gotten into using
In the
the
6.
thermo as well and wanting to cook dinners each night in it. And he's not great with change. So he's seeing this new one, realizing that we're getting it. And he's like, hang on a second. I like the other one. So I have this sneaky suspicion he's going to want that one to become his.
It's interesting you say that because my kids don't do very well with change either. And I wasn't really too crush hot on this one. I was a bit like, oh, I don't know. There was something about it. I think, again, change, something new, a little bit of like the unknown. We have this one and a TM6 side by side on our bench. And my kids will always turn this one on first. I thought the same. I thought that they would go for the 6 because that's what they know and they like the dial and the control. Tonight, I said to Indy, can you please help out and make some pizza dough? Which I shouldn't have done. She's celiac and I made her make pizza dough. But anyway, she went straight to this one and she turned it on. And I said, oh, you're not going to use the 6. And she goes, why would I use the 6, Mum? The 7's so much better. So I'm interested to see how Thomas goes and how quickly he shifts from the 6 to the 7 because
I'm sure it won't take long.
I think it's the screen. I think it's
Yeah.
technology.
And I'm not sure how old Thomas is, Emma.
He'll be 10 next month.
Okay. I was going to say the graphics on the new screen and with the reading of the ingredients, but they actually have pictures of everything next to the typing.
Yep.
So if
So
the ingredients say like 1 egg, it'll have a picture of a little egg.
picture of an egg.
He'll like that too.
Which
Yeah.
my kids love that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really handy for Billy. Indy can obviously read. Billy's not quite there yet, but he can see some of the things and he's like, oh, I know I need an egg, and he can see how many he needs and that kind of thing. So
Yeah.
graphics, definitely. Katarina has just said, for me, the TM7 is so much easier to take away in the caravan. Absolutely. Yep. If you haven't got yourself a carry bag yet, then stay tuned. They should be coming to the mix shop shortly. I don't know. I haven't actually seen them in there, but I haven't looked. So we have just taken ours away. It came with us for a 2-week road trip. We stayed in some caravan parks and used it on 240 volt. But then we also stayed up at Bathurst for the car racing and we used it off the generator. It didn't really love the 2.5 kilowatt generator. That didn't, wasn't a huge fan, but the 3.5 was perfectly fine. And we did notice the difference between taking the 6 and taking the 7 with regards to the generator as well. So definitely really handy for taking on the road because it unassembles. It's much more, so much easier. Awesome. So Eliza, because you don't have a TM7 yet, I'd love to know what's the next step for you.
I think I want one. I don't think I need to have another demo.
No, let's just do it.
This is I'm just going with what I did when I got my first one. My 31.
Because we are role playing and we actually at the moment have an incredible offer where you can come on board and earn your Thermomix in just 4 sales. Do you think that you maybe have a friend or two that might be interested in seeing the TM7?
Yeah.
Why don't we sign you up?
I just think that's a really good offer anyway. But
absolutely. So yes, as we have spoken about, there is a team for you offer. We have earn 4, which is unheard of, and we've got 90 days, which is also unheard of. It's usually earn 6 in 60 days. So
yeah.
Emma has just come on board our earn program. She is roaring ready to go, and I'm excited to help her with that. But if anyone is interested in finding out a little bit more about earning yourself a TM7, please reach out to your consultant or to myself, and we would love to be able to help you because it's an insane offer. And as I mentioned before, once you make that first sale in your first 30 days, you'll also get your carry bag. So we spoke about that just now. but also that cutter and the spiralizer. So you'll be able to use your Thermomix to its full potential. Thank you so much, ladies, for jumping on. We've spoken about the payment options. There is also Zip and all the rest of the things. I know that all of you either have one or are not purchasing one tonight. But if you have any questions about the TM7, please reach out. I really appreciate you guys jumping on tonight and finding out a little bit more about the TM7 and joining me for the demo. I'm stoked that I've got dinner ready for tomorrow night now. I don't have to worry about that when I finish work. And it's been fun sharing hints and tips and bouncing off Eliza as well to support you guys with tonight's demo. So thank you so much for jumping on. I really appreciate your time. I hope you have a lovely night, and I look forward to seeing what you guys make in your Thermomixes.
Thanks, Sam. Thanks, Eliza.
Thanks, Sam. That was
guys.
good.
No worries. I'm just going to stop recording. If anyone wants to